We're rolling. Monday night beers are
Ooh.
in effect.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, welcome in.
God damn. Has it been a week already?
Feels like either 12 hours or 6 months.
Yeah, we all live. We live on Zoom now.
Fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. Quarantine time is fucking weird, man.
Yesterday, which was Easter, of course, we did a trivia night. The Brongers hosted.
Oh,
It was like 14 people, like 7 teams doing trivia. It was fun. I usually drag my feet about that shit, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, these are slim pickings for activities. I'm not like a game guy, but I'm like, oh yeah, hey, who wants to hear me say stuff?
Yeah, we did a couple trivia nights with Emily's friends, and we won both of them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, here we go.
So now now the next one, we have to be the ones to write the questions.
That seems fair.
Yeah. So.
Don't make them too hard, dude. You're all book learned and shit.
Who was the third baseman for the 1915 St. Louis Monarchs?
Yeah, it's just going to be like Detroit Tigers trivia. Like, what did Lou Whitaker hit? How many home runs did he hit in 1989?
What is an alternate first name for Willie Hernandez? Answer's Guillermo. It's Guillermo. No one got that one. Come on, guys.
Damn, Burnsy, you had quite a spread over there for the big holiday, man.
I did. I shot you guys photos. It was like a bummer because, you know, I like holidays. You know, I like to cook. And, sometimes we'll just keep it low profile. But for the good majority, a few people stop by. And I'm just like, man, I got all these delicious foods. I got to share. No one to share them with. Just like one person. So I got leftovers up the motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Gnarly, you got the fresh new backdrop, dude. Looks like you've upgraded the production over there.
Yeah, I got one of these weird little circle lamp things, too.
Oh,
Marina uses all this shit for her dance.
Oh, shit.
I mean, landlord ain't pulling up for a minute now, so fuck it.
It
Well,
looks
you got an actual green screen there. You can start
That's a low-ass end one, though.
putting in some CGI, some spaceships.
Like me punching elves or something.
yeah.
Dude, Popman, it's funny you should say spaceships because we put it out to the Monday Night Beers Pod Instagram, asked for some topics of discussion for today.
Yeah.
The first one comes from Rob Lobster43, who I know to be Rob Sacuzo. And he says, do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Have you ever had a paranormal experience, seen a UFO, had a ghostly encounter?
Well, I think we both know what we're referring to with that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was an alien from outer space, but we've definitely seen a UFO.
Yeah.
And
back in the Brooklyn days, we were out on the balcony in our old apartment, and a couple other folks were with us there, Jay Bois and that, and we saw some fucking shit in the sky, dude, that we could not explain, and we all started fucking tripping out at the same time. What the fuck is that? What the fuck
we
is
all
that?
went completely bananas on the balcony, and
It was
I don't
gone
know.
as quickly as it arrived, and I contend that I was not so fucked up that I had imagined it.
Well, you guys were smoking drugs. I was just drunk, so I was fine. Yeah, no, we all saw the same thing, and it was like 3 tumbling lights, and it just kind of came below the skyline and then like zoomed away. And
Very unnatural. That was the thing. It was just like you were looking at something you'd never seen before. 3 circles in a triangle. The circles were moving. The triangle was moving. It was fucking weird.
because we all started screaming as soon as we saw it, and then when it zoomed away, we all like completely lost our shit. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Burnsy, you ever seen any weird shit?
I've seen,
Poltergeist?
and I would say when I'm a little, I have a memory of when I was a little kid of seeing a demon or of some sort in my parents' basement closet, and I may have concocted this in my head over the years, but throughout have always maintained that I had this moment. And I think, my mom had a china closet in the basement where it had she had all the like holiday decorations and shit, and there were little slats on the door, and I would write notes to Satan with crayons, and I would put them through the slots like, oh, it was Mrs. Satan. I said I thought the Mrs. Satan lived in there, and I would do this. Yeah, and I would do this on my own. And then one day I went in, and the fucking demon was in there, and I was like, oh shit! And I just ran upstairs, and I'll never know if I conjured that beast or it was completely made up.
It sounds like you conjured it. You were writing letters to the fucking thing.
Man, Catholicism fucks people up, man. You can't. That's what happens. You get kids' brains all screwed.
You're like the kid that like Christians warn about, who like listened to too much Judas Priest or something. And then...
Yeah, I was a little kid though. This is probably like 3-4 years old.
Oh my god!
How many sips of Miller Lite had you had that
day? It's old Milwaukee. I do have one thing. And this has happened once or twice, but there's one that was pretty clear sighting of when when you drive down the highway or freeway here, you can see things up in the sky, and there's planes and helicopters and shit. And one day I saw some big ass thing that I think ended up being a weather balloon, if my research was correct, but just a giant white like thing in the fucking sky, and like you try and look it up on your phone, you can't find anything. Like, didn't anyone else freak out about this? But I guess that's it. I don't think I have a good like UFO dealie.
Well, I also remember, I don't know if this was one that either you or Gnarly were at, but I remember being in line at PWG in Reseda when they had launched that like satellite or whatever, and it looked like a fucking comet coming through the atmosphere, even though it was leaving. And I remember standing there in line going, wow, if this is fucking it, how am I going to get back home? Am I going to have to walk back? I was going through the process for a minute of like, yeah, be the end of the world.
The SpaceX launch.
Yes.
The SpaceX launch, I had one of those moments of this is real. This is what's happening. Everyone should be outside, praying down on their knees for something, because it looked so wild. And the photos I took just with my phone are incredible. If you didn't know what that was, you would think that's a comet, that's an asteroid, or that's the alien mothership coming to take us all away.
Totally. Gnarly, were you there, or do you have any other experiences with weird shit?
I wasn't there, but I was in the shower during that SpaceX shit, and then Marina was just like, "Go outside." I was like, "What the fuck?" Call my mom. I was like,
you never seen any she-devils or nothing like that?
No she-devils, man. Thank God. I caught my mom smoking weed once when I was like 10. That was pretty scary. I thought I saw something, and then she like lied to me and said she wasn't smoking weed, and I was like, oh, like I was tripping then.
She tried to trick you into thinking that you hadn't seen it?
It was after a Dodger game. She was like in the garage. It was like at nighttime, like getting ready for bed, and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, wait. Didn't lie to you or nothing, but I remember seeing like the pipe. Good times.
Wow. Does she still smoke?
Oh, yeah. I got her stoned once when I lived back at home, maybe 7 years ago. And that was a bad idea, because then she kept bothering me, being like wanting to talk and shit. She like was like walking by my room being like, I'm stoned. And I was like, all right, like leave me alone, dude. Go upstairs. Like,
it's so funny. She said go away, and then you said go away.
I was telling her, like, yeah, as I got older. Yeah, perfect.
This isn't a question, but maybe Gnarly, you know what's up with this. Abe.Mora on Instagram. He just commented COD Warzone.
What's that? Call of Duty Warzone, that game everyone's been fucking playing.
You guys been playing?
I was on there Saturday with him and my other friend who are really bad at it. And they have like a new game mode where there's 4 players at one time. So we pretty much had to take care of both these dudes. But we won a game finally at 12 midnight. But we've been playing since 4 p.m. just straight drinking the whole time.
Oh, shit.
Like, I was fucked up. Like, Rena was all pissed at me the next day because apparently I was, like, yelling and shit. And it's a small place. Like, I had volume up to the max. Getting fucked up. It's like hanging with it's just fun, dude. Especially, like, during this shit. Yeah. It's like a bar on Xbox. I got, like, 8 friends that just are always on. You hear someone crack a drink. Then you just say, well, I'm going to get a drink, too. They got nothing else going on. Everyone just gets wasted and plays video games. You shoot people with guns.
Yeah, it's funny, like, as much as I've been drinking during this quarantine, like yesterday was only the second time where I was like hanging out, drinking, smoking weed, and there was just a point where I was like, oh man, you're pretty fucked right now.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, I went and like drank some Pedialyte before I went to bed because I was like, you're pretty fucking hammered right now.
Yeah, that's only happened to me a couple times, but the other day there's nothing to do. You're just sitting around all day and you're just having some whiskey and whatever and smoking butts. And then the next morning I woke up, it was like, I felt like I had just been in Vegas for like a day and a half. It was not good.
Yeah. I'd say today was like the first day that I had a like bad hangover. Like came downstairs and went on the couch and just like laid there. Just, I just can't. And I finally like powered down 2 LaCroix, and then I took a shower, and then I made like fried eggs, like dunk eggs and some just butter wheat toast, and like got all that in, gunned another fizzy water, and laid on the couch, and then just prayed for it to hit 3 o'clock when I deemed it acceptable to crack a beer.
Yeah, it's funny. That dude Keith, who sings for Every Time I Die, he tweeted. He goes, "Despite my best efforts, I have contracted alcoholism."
And based on my time in Buffalo, like you gotta drink a lot to come to that conclusion.
Dave Sarah, Grand Scheme on Instagram. He's got a quick fire 4 for us. The first is favorite childhood toy. Gnarly.
I'm gonna go with my Ninja Turtle, my Power Rangers, my bike, and then Sega Genesis. If that counts,
Bernsey.
it probably doesn't count.
I got to do 4?
No, well, no, you can. The quick fire 4. There's 3 other questions.
Oh, okay.
Favorite childhood toy.
That's tough. I'd say the most excited I ever got opening like a toy was the X-Wing fighter, the Empire Strikes Back one. Because I didn't think I was going to get it. I thought it was too expensive. You know, there's no way that was underneath the tree. And my parents gave it to me. We'd always get one gift on Christmas Eve, just a little taste. And I opened that, and it just blew my mind. I'd say that or the G.I. Joe Rattler with that, the Gatling gun, the blue with all the bombs.
Yeah,
that was super dope as well.
Hot man.
Well, I don't know if this counts as a toy, but I just realized I have this in my file cabinet. This is my first baseball glove.
Oh,
From when I was 7, and it barely fits in my hand anymore. Signed by
dynamite.
Brett.
yeah,
Also,
nice.
when I was a kid, I got it signed by Gates Brown, the former Tiger, but it rubbed off. So, I don't know.
Nice.
If not that, probably. I don't know, man. We never got any good toys. Like, my first G.I. Joe was Mainframe.
Nice, the computer one.
Yeah, so for like a year, I was trying to be like playing with G.I. Joes, and I just had fucking Mainframe.
Mainframe to the rescue.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for me. Like, I remember trying to like explain to my dad like how bad I needed some He-Man, and he was like, "You don't need any fucking He-Man." And then I had Blaster, the like transformer that turned into a boombox.
Yes.
It was on layaway for so long, and then I finally got it off layaway. That was
So
pretty
good.
dope.
So
And then
good.
One Christmas, I got the G.I. Joe helicopter.
Oh, wow.
Which
Oh,
for
rich.
me, it might as well have been the fucking aircraft carrier. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like that was probably like one of 2 things I got that whole fucking Christmas or something, but it was big time. You know?
I did get the Castle Grayskull once.
Woo! See, talking shit about me getting a helicopter?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, I think that's what the question is. It's it's a toy, like a
Yeah.
basketball or whatever it's going to be. I got a He-Man at Meyer Thrifty Acres. My grandma Burns bought me one. Took me a shopping trip. I didn't know what He-Man was. You know, it was new. I'd never heard of the cartoon yet. And I just got it because I was like, I've never seen a motherfucker so big. I got to have this dude. I remember pulling into the driveway, like into my parents' house. And like, I had him out the window. I was making him fly. I'm like, fucking He-Man! Like my parents were in the yard. I'm like, He-Man! He-Man, look at this! What year is that?
What's that?
What year has He-Man come out?
Like 83, 84, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm like,
Dude, I remember, and this is not I'm not proud of this. I was a child, but I think it was first grade I was probably in, but I remember I was fucking running home because the first show was going to air. And this girl that I like was in class with, she, was trying to like, fuck with me, grab me, stop me from running.
Yeah.
I gave her a little taste of the lunchbox to get her off because I had to get home to He-Man, dude. That's just how it happened. I'm not proud of that, but
you went He-Man on her. You went all He-Man.
All right, the second one is from Dave. His favorite concert.
Ooh.
Hard, difficult.
Yeah. All right.
Your favorite.
I'll say most fun for me, not best, but I was at Lollapalooza, and it was in Michigan. It was at Pine Knob, right? Didn't they do that one year?
Yes, they did one time there, yeah. Or a few times, actually, yeah.
And it was Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound and Tool back to back.
Okay.
So it was like, best of both for me. It was like super pop, like rap shit, and then a big Tool fan. So it was like, those are all the things I like all at once.
Yeah.
One of my buddies got in a fight in a mosh pit. We all laughed at him, and no one helped. And it was a good time.
Gnarly.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go the first Evil Beat. Last year when I went to Texas, that Cold World, Iron Age ceremony, fucking Power Trip, of course. It was just a heater, dude. Every band just smashed, and I was like, Abe and the fucking rocker Kevin pulled up too. You got a little taste. Yeah, that was tough.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of good shows over the years. I saw Elliott Smith once. That Tom Petty show we saw right before he died was great. I've seen, when we saw Pavement in New York was good. Silver Jews. Probably when I saw the Silver Jews live was my favorite show in 2006 at Webster Hall.
Yeah, man, it's very difficult. I think I saw the Beastie Boys at the State Theater.
That's very cool.
Fox,
Nice.
like right around when Check Your Head came out, and I just remember thinking like, this is insane,
Oh, yeah.
And I'd already been going to some hardcore shows, but I don't know. I've been to a bunch of shows, but it's hard to pick.
The Eagles. When I saw the Eagles.
The truth finally comes out.
Man, I would love to see an Eagles show, man. That's a good time.
That the ELO show at the Hollywood Bowl a few years ago has to rank for me. That shit was fucking great.
While we're still on that, I watched it was on just YouTube. I don't know why it wasn't on Amazon. It was like Amazon Originals, Beastie Boys, 25 Years of Ill Communication, just like a mini documentary. It's really good. And I was like, what is this? Are there more of these?
Well, on the 24th, they have a whole documentary coming out on Apple.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Apple has one of those like freebie deals where I can just get it for a week and rip all through that.
Favorite sitcom?
I mean, Seinfeld has to be. I just got to be basic and honest with myself, and pound for pound, what I've watched the most and will still continue to watch, got to be Seinfeld.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Seinfeld.
It's exactly like, as much as I like, a Barney Miller or Stanford and Son or any of that shit, like Seinfeld is the one that I've watched the most, that I will still turn on when I see it on the dial. Like,
right.
Cheers too. Cheers falls into that category, I think.
Yeah. I want to say like Stranger with Candy. That's what I think I like the most. But
I don't even know, is that a sitcom?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I want to have cool, in these instances you want to come up with this cool answer, but it's probably like Seinfeld or like off, it's not off.
Seinfeld's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Gnarly?
I'm going that 70s show, man. For me growing up,
Youngster.
it was just
Dude, one time
great, dude. They actually showed smoking weed on television just by the circle. And I didn't understand it at that time when I first started watching. I was like, why are they in a circle? Everyone
really
was like, it's got jokes.
good
Really
show.
Red's so cool. Just talking shit to people. Then after the fact that Danny Masterson's a rapist or whatever, kind of bums you out for watching it.
Allegedly.
You don't want Scientology.
No.
Every center coming
Right
in.
next to a cemetery. I already know what's up.
You just see gnarly get pulled out of it, like the door get kicked out, and is just
Right
like.
out.
I used to live across the street from that place. They don't fuck around, man. They'll come double head to the head.
Knock, knock. And then finally, favorite karaoke song. I'm going to say I like to do Cigarettes and Alcohol on the rare occasion that I'll sing a karaoke, but then there's also the time when Popman and I did the Kid Rock Sheryl Crow duet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Back in New York, which I wish.
Which one was who did? I can't remember who was Sheryl Crow and who was Kid Rock.
When this came up the other day, and Georgia was asking me the same question. I got no fucking clue.
Yeah. But it was still, I just remember it was probably pretty good.
Well, the fact that we did it means we were both fucking ripped. So there's
Yeah.
no question about trying to fucking remember any of it, other than it happened. Bernsey, you fuck with karaoke?
Oh, at big time. I will do all the karaoke that's available. I got 2 ringers. I do Sweet Home Chicago, and I do Nothing But a G Thing. I can nail them. Those come out of the pocket right away, and then there's a real steep decline after that when I get cocky and try to like, I'm gonna do some Def Leppard Hysteria. I'm like, oh, you can't hit any of those notes, Burns. You sound like dog shit.
I will, since I'm not a great singer, I will usually go like the heel route and try to sing something stupid. Mm-hmm. So like Tough Enough by the Fabulous Thunderbirds.
Nothing stupid about that.
Is one I've done a few times. I did Whitney Houston's The Greatest Love of All one time. And then I realized it's actually a really long song and then only funny for about 20 seconds. And I had to finish the whole.
Well, I remember I saw you do Tough Enough, and thought to myself, wow, Pop really likes Fabulous Thunderbirds. Are they like a cool band that like had more depth to them that I didn't know about? No.
Well, there's also that day after the SummerSlam at Staples where we had been drinking whiskey and everything else, and I fucking went up at Lucky Strike and tried to do Montel Jordan. This is how we do it.
Oh yeah.
And Bernsey and Brido and 80s Clown had to escort me off the stage.
Yeah, you were stranded up there. It's like you went deer in headlights.
It was very negative, dude.
You just glazed over.
It was very negative. Very negative. Gnarly, you do any karaoke?
The only time I did it was in Japan, and then I banged out Hungry Heart, Bruce Springsteen, and then I did Born in the USA. But I forgot about that whole verse about killing the yellow man, and I felt really awkward while I was up there. The shit face.
Oh, that's a bad spot.
It was a political song, though. You know, I mean, it was against the war in Vietnam. It wasn't about killing Japanese or nothing. You know, it was a statement.
Right.
But up there all hammered, and you read that lyric, you're just like, I forgot.
Forget that's there, man.
My bad.
Guys, it's not a happy song. But I feel like it's been overhashed that, hey, Born in the USA is more like a war protesty type song, like. But people still don't grasp that, and it'll still pop up in these situations where it's like, this is a negative song, guys. Jojo_Allen,
ALLIN on Instagram. He would like to know best beer for chilling with the boys.
High
Life
for me, just because you can drink a million of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
High Life
Coors.
bottle. But I got to put a caveat. It's got to be a bottle for me.
Yeah.
If it's a can of High Life or a can of PBR, I'd rather do PBR can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It tastes different. It tastes different when it's cold. In like the summertime, it goes down so fast. The angle of that bottle is just
You can drink a bottle of High Life, ice cold High Life, in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's just you just see it.
But it's a barbecue beer because you can just like, it doesn't fill you up when you're like eating, you know, like it doesn't jam you up like that.
No,
I like a Modelo and Pacifico too. If we're talking just like hangs.
Yeah, those aren't bad.
I'm a big
Especially
fan.
like a Modelo too. You can just chug a Modelo.
Yeah.
Full on. Hot man, you like a banquet beer though, huh?
Oh yeah. I
Banquet
prefer
beer is just like perfect.
Yeah, Coors, High Life, whatever. La Fine du Monde.
I will drink a million Natural Light. That is well known.
Get some 10% beer.
Natties.
Oh,
Drink natty. DMC GVA. First concert you attended and you can't lie. I went to the Monkees. It was when the Monkees came back on MTV. I was in 5th grade. I got my sister to take me. It was the Monkees. Grassroots, Gary Puckett at the Union Gap.
Nice.
Maybe Paul Revere and the Raiders, some other fucking 60s act.
Well, I've already alluded to mine. It was the Eagles. I was a junior in high school. It was also my first date. Took a girl to see the Eagles. Hell Freezes Over tour.
Wow. You get any? Do you get some smooches or?
No, well, then on the way home, I got lost somehow in downtown Detroit, and she started crying in the car.
Man.
I just remember we were in I got off the freeway. We were just getting deeper and deep. It was like Judgment Night, that the movie. We're just getting in a bad part of town, and we're at like a red light. I'm stopping. I'm like saying, you're supposed to, and she was crying, like, please turn green, and I was like, oh, and I finally figured my way out and got back onto the freeway. But yeah, that didn't.
Was that show at Pine Knob?
It was at the Palace.
Oh, how the fuck did you end up in Detroit?
I didn't know what I was doing. If you're not from Michigan, going from the Palace to it's hard. But
especially when you live in fucking Heartland or wherever the fuck.
Yeah, in
Garden City.
In Garden City. Yeah, I wasn't paying. It was like I'm coming down 75 to like 96 or 696 or whatever, and I missed a fork, and then I wound up downtown, and I got up the freeway, and it was just like didn't work out.
How was the show itself, though? The Eagles.
Well, I mean, it was good.
Okay.
I mean, they're good. They're the Eagle. I mean, they fucking suck, but they're also like they've got some good tunes. I'm just saying.
I have no doubt it would have been a good show.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, they opened with Hotel California. Believe it or not.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
And all I remember is also, it was like 1994, right? So, and they were selling T-shirts for $60.
60?
$60.
Holy shit.
But that's my first.
Gnarly first concert.
I don't know, dude. It was like what counts as a concert? Is it just live music?
Yeah.
My shit was just I went to a backyard show when I was 15, and that was like my first introduction to like live music. Okay. I was like listening to punk or like whatever was on Karaoke at the time too. But then that was like my first show. And I was like, oh, like this is like live music. Because my sister, who was younger than me, my mom would take her to like Backstreet Boys, like NSYNC, like concerts like that. But my music was like untouchable, you know what I mean? Like there was no one trying to take me to a show like that. So like it went from backyard shows to eventually like my mom dropping me off at Chain Reaction in Anaheim. And like my first, I guess, real hardcore show was like Terror. It was Terror, Mortar Pride, Blue Monday, Champion, and See You Next Tuesday.
But what's the first show you bought a ticket in advance for?
Terror.
Okay.
Terror.
Burnsy?
You know what? I did not come from a group of friends in high school that were like, no one played music. No one was in. We listened to plethora of metal and hip hop and all sorts of things. But I never went to a concert till I was 18 years old. In my first year of Michigan State, you got a free ticket to Bush when you like as a freshman. They gave you a ticket to Bush, and I think Goo Goo Dolls might have opened for them.
That's a banger of a show, dude. Just those two off top.
Oh, it was fun, but the headliner was Bush. It was like that was it. It might be Gin Blossoms. It's real hazy. I was messed up. You know, I was a freshman drunk in college. But, yeah, I always thought that was weird. Like, my parents never took me to, like, a Beach Boys concert or anything. And then I went to a ton of concerts after that. I was like, wow, these are fun. But I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Yeah. I remember at State when I was there for grad school, so this was probably, like, 2000, White Stripes played, like, in the Union. Like the student union, like ballroom type of thing.
Wow.
Fucking dope. I don't know how you say this. Lamoraric, Lamoraeric on Instagram. When was your first beer? ? How long till you loved beer? Burnsy, you better go first.
3 years old, Grandpa's bar. You can see the video. That's got to exist, right? That's still on YouTube, probably.
I love beer.
Yeah, I love beer. I love beer. I love beer. I do a freestyle.
You loved it instantly.
I do a freestyle rap. It's 1978. Hip hop doesn't really exist yet. What is it? A mean dope wet, a pit a pet, a beat a juju, a tonight. That's and that recording exists because my grandfather kept a tape recorder on his bar so his buddies could tell dirty jokes. Then they'd have their own dirty joke mixtape. They just play the tape back, and it'd be like 10 different cops or like my dad or whatever, just in succession. Dirty joke, which is pretty ingenious. Like that's such a sweet gimmick, man, to have this comedy tape of street jokes, just a collection of everyone's voice. And I don't know if I have that cassette anymore. I think it got lost. He had a whole thing of them, but they were those old like Radio Shack, the blanks with the cream and the red, and then there was like a CDK or something. Remember the black tape with the blue label, like just those shitty blanks before people bought Max L's or TDKs or whatever. But there were those shitty cheap Radio Shack brand tapes. Never made good dubs.
Gnarly.
It was a 32 ounce of High Life that my buddy's mom bought us for his birthday in the 8th grade. She got us a big ass pizza in each one of those. And I remember his dad being pretty pissed because like he knew we were going to have a beer. But then when he saw the mom bringing those, he was like, I thought you said one beer. She's like, well, it is one beer. And I drank maybe like the neck and a little bit more, and I was fucking laid out, dude. Went on a Hollywood Video at like 8 p.m. all drunk as shit trying to figure out a comedy to watch with the homie. His mom took us.
Dude, she was like, I could have gotten 40s. It's only a 32.
Yeah.
Court.
He was like, that's a big beer. It was cool, man.
So you were like, this is cool right away?
Yeah, so I was just like, damn, we're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and you got to be older to do it. And I was like, yes, like I'm getting fucked up. But I was like, without puking or anything, it was just like my introduction of beer.
Yeah.
Never an issue.
Man.
And then I went to MGD after that.
What's that? Tell me.
Do you have an answer?
I didn't have my first beer until I was 19.
Wild. You're like the me of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you like it, or what was the deal?
I hated it. I would like sit and hold a beer and basically pretend to drink it for like an hour. And then, which is kind of funny now, but so I was, for a while, I would just drink like tequila or like whiskey because I didn't like the taste of alcohol. So if I went to hang out at a party, I would just be like, badoop, 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 drink a bunch of tequila and then just be drunk because I hated drinking. And I think after a couple of years, I finally started to be like, this isn't the worst thing ever. It's kind of like black coffee where you just kind of get used to it and then you like it the best.
You got really good at it.
Yeah.
Well, so I was fucking straight edge forever. I don't think I had a drink till I was like 25.
Wow. That's so wild. You're going to live so much longer than the rest of us. Not fair.
The strange thing is that I don't remember. Given that that's the case, I should remember the first drink I had, which I don't. But I do know that for a little while there, I was like drinking Malibu. I was drinking like mimosas and shit. Just like I was not down with beer yet.
Drinking Midori sours and shit.
Do you remember? Well, when Vince and I first met and started hanging out from comedy, you'd have one of your other friends be around and be like, you can't tell them I drink. They think I'm straight edge.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then
And that was like so early on for me too. It had been a few years, but like I didn't get down. So like we would do a show like Heidelberg or whatever. I'd have like 2 or 3 High Lifes and then I'd like walk around for a while before I try to drive for like 8 minutes home, you know? Yeah.
I didn't drink a lot in high school until like senior year, and then I just went fucking nuts. but I always had that idealism of like, yeah, I play sports. I don't drink, like, because I was semi-afraid of it, like of the problems that could cause. But I think it was the 9th grade, I gave Crazy Cooter $5 to buy me a 40 of Cool Colt 45, which was menthol flavored beer that the Cool Colt, the Colt 45 people put out.
What are you doing, man?
It was like July. It was like 98 degrees, sweltering night, and someone's parents weren't home. So I'm like, I'm gonna drink this whole 40 and see what it does. And I walked around the neighborhood with it, and it got so ass hot. It was malt liquor with the mint flavor. I never felt so ill. Like, I remember there's no air conditioning. I was just laying down like on the living room floor, just beads of sweat piling off. Be like, I'm gonna die. I shouldn't have drank that. This is my fault. Fucking Crazy Cooter.
Damn. So none of you guys paid like someone older than you to buy you alcohol before?
No, I got it.
You didn't know?
It was funny. Well, first of all, back in Detroit, there are bars that it was known that they didn't card. And then you could go to Windsor, Canada.
Yeah. And
then also one time I was at a party, like 19. This guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, you kind of look like me. You want my license?" And I didn't look that much like him, but he gave it. All right, so I used it as a fake ID a couple times.
What kind of story is that?
Yeah, he goes, you kind of look like me. You want my license? And he gave it to me. And the one time,
what?
I don't know, man. And then we were like 20, and we went to the bar Frankie's. Do you remember that bar used to call White Trash Studio 54?
Yes. The only way you could be on the dance floor is if you had a girl with you.
Yeah, in this bar in my hometown, just a fucking shithole. And I was with the girl I was dating at the time, and then we brought our girl, and I have this totally fake ID, and the bouncer looks at it, he goes, "All right, this is like bullshit, but you got girls here, so you can come in." And then he let me have it.
Wow.
Well, that was the deal, though. Like, when I borrowed my friend's fake ID to go see Rage Against the Machine, they looked at it, and they were like, "You can come in, but we're keeping this."
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that Auburn Hills? What tour was it? Evil Empire?
That Rage show was either right before or right when the first record came out at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit, because my friend who was 3 years older than me had moved out to Santa Cruz, and he called me, he's like, "I've seen this band that opened for Public Enemy. You're not going to fucking believe it." And he had told me who they were or whatever. So I think that I just happened to see them very early on, just luckily.
That's incredible. That's got to be so much fun.
Do you remember when Rage toured with Beastie Boys and they played the Palace?
Vaguely. I definitely saw them on a New Year's Eve at like the what was that shit called? Where the carnival was or whatever in Royal Oak,
yeah.
State Fairgrounds.
Yes, and that was I think the weirdest pairing. Once I saw Beck and the Wildflowers at the same show, which is kind of a weird pairing.
Weird,
but
I went to a Jacob Dylan.
I mean, Wallflowers.
Wallflowers.
Sorry, I was thinking of the company. Yeah.
I went to a Wallflowers concert in Muskegon at a county fair, and never left the beer tent. I went directly into the beer tent, and I was like,
One hit lane.
I remember they could hear it. I was like, I'm good. I got a pitcher. I got a chair.
We've got a very important topic here from someone named Corned_beef_party freak.
I like this guy.
That's a good name.
And Corned is spelled Kornd.
Respect.
This person would like to know best close call poop story.
Okay.
Close
I was
call.
in a CVS in Ypsilanti, Michigan one time doing my shopping, and all of a sudden it was like wham, and you get that like tunnel vision of like, holy shit, I'm gonna fucking shit my pants right now. What the fuck?
Severe pain.
I dropped everything I had in my hands. I ran out, got into my car, started driving. It was not letting up. I pulled into a Kinko's and ran, and just by a fucking hair made it to that toilet. Yeah, it was. I mean, I've had other experiences like that, but that's the one that stands out in my mind of like, if anything else, I would have shit my pants. It was like, it was by the skin of my ass.
Well, there's that one time I was in.
There we go.
I was at the Barnes & Noble in Manhattan in Union Square, and I kind of had to go, but I was like, the line's all fucked up. I'll go back home. And then as soon as I walked out, same thing, gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. I got to go right now. And I was trying to walk to, there's a Starbucks like on 3rd and 15th, and I wasn't making it. It hit me so bad. I actually got down on my hands and knees in the middle of the sidewalk and started going, no, no, no. And everybody's like looking at me and walking over me.
But it was New York, so it was like, it wasn't that weird.
I'm like on 14th Street on the sidewalk, rolling, going, no. And then I finally got like a second wind, and I just ran to Starbucks, and it was fine. But that was
oh my God. But well, you know what wasn't fine was shitting in a Starbucks on 14th Street. There's nothing cool about that.
Because then I was like, if I get to this Starbucks and there's somebody in the bathroom, it's all over. I'm going right there. But luckily,
it is that thing of when it becomes fight or flight.
Yeah.
You're shitting in places you would never dream of shit.
Yeah. If I had my druthers, I just, well, not shit at all, but just go at home and then, you know.
Yeah.
It's like when I had to take a dump at that one bar we were going to, Underdogs. Oh, God damn it. It's terrible. I don't think I have a good close call story. Like,
well,
I
it's not a close call, but are you willing to talk about my bachelor party or
Yeah,
no?
you have.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's not a close call. It happened.
That's the real deal. We're having a day, Vince's bachelor party, and we go to Cheetah's, a gentleman's club, and you know,
that was like the 3rd or 4th stop, though.
right. And then did it continue on to?
Some of us went to the drawing room.
Okay,
Yeah.
I went to drawing room because I have photos of Pop just glazed in my collection, and it's such a great photo. It's one of my favorite pictures. And I must have walked all the way home. I walked home from drawing room. From there, I think I might have indulged in something in drawing room that I don't usually indulge in, and something that makes you lose control of your fucking bowels. And it was pouring rain, and I'm whacked out of my mind. And I walked by Joe Wagner, comedian. I passed him on the sidewalk, and it's weird because it's pouring rain. It's late. Usually you say what's up to a homie, but I just looked at him. I go, not now. And I kept walking. And then I got to that point where I couldn't like make a step without the turtle coming out. I didn't want to open the gate. So I'm like, fuck it. I got to walk home. I can't stand here all night. And I just like, I'm just going to do it. 1, 2, 3 step. Half load of shit. Fuck. Now I'm fucking gaped, and it's going to dump. And then it went, you know, then it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. filling up these fucking beautiful $280 wax-coated denim jeans. And I can feel it going all down the legs. And I get home. And I've got on Red Wing boots, and I don't want shit in those fucking boots. So I get home.
$300 boots.
I got like $250 something pants. I got some $350 boots, and I just filled it up. I went to my apartment complex. I went behind to the dumpster area. I took off my underwear, my jeans, my boots, made sure those were safe. I threw the fucking $250 fancy ass Hollywood pants in the trash, cut my junk, and walked around this apartment I'd only lived in for like 2 months. Don't even hardly know the neighbors. I had to run down the driveway with the fucking full driveway lights on, bare ass, dick in my hand, got into the shower with the rest of the clothes I had on, took those off, and then just decimated that shower. I mean, it's fucking
shitty ass cheeks.
Oh, it was. I had to throw my loofah away. Fucking nightmare. And I think that's probably the last time I have indulged in substances that make you shit your pants. For not just that reason, but I think that's the moment. That's the last one.
I broke my toilet seat that night. I was like backing up to just take a piss, and I like came down so hard it just busted a fucking broke the seat.
Wait, did Georgia have to help you out? Help you up or something?
No, that was another day. That was the 4th of July party where I was like, I'm taking a shower. She's like, don't take a shower. I was like, I'm doing it. And then like within 30 seconds, I like fucking did a fucking full ass plant, and I landed between the toilet and the bathtub, and I was stuck.
Dude, you breaking that fucking toilet seat made me feel so much better about what I did. I was like, oh, I wasn't the asshole. Everyone was.
Gnarly? Any close calls?
I sharted my bed after making love one time.
No.
I thought it was cool. Like right after sex, I was like, I got to fart. And I like hit one of these turns and I ripped it. And I was like, oh, that's shit. And immediately I
Wow.
was like, get off the bed, sheets, everything.
So bad.
Good times, man.
Oh, God.
I shit the bed one time from illness, and the adrenaline of having shit the bed like caused me to like leap up, Google how to try to fix it, go down, get some supplies, and I was still sick for like another 4 days. But for like 30 minutes, I was able to like rally because of the fucking horrible.
I don't think I've ever shit a bed. I've never shit the bed.
Okay, here we go. Georgia Hardstark on Instagram wants to know what's the best hot dish for a potluck.
Like a church.
I'm saying green bean casserole.
That's what I was gonna say, either green bean casserole or cheesy potatoes. That's the right.
I pull up with just fried chicken, either Stater Bros or like a Ralph's. I'm showing up with like more than enough chicken. Just put them with 2 handles. Bam.
Gnarly, did you roll into DeRosa's St. Patrick's party with a bunch of chicken McNuggets one time?
No, that was that cool ass guy with long hair who had like, he was dressed kind of weird. And he was just
you're describing yourself. The cool ass guy with long hair who dressed kind of weird. What are you talking about?
Oh, he was weirder. Like, no, he was way cooler than me. He just like pulled up a double fist. And I remember telling him like, yo, thanks for bringing those McNuggets. And he's like, everyone's been telling me that, man. Then he was like, can I have one of your beers? And I was like, yeah, you can have one of my beers. You brought the McNuggets. I got
best hot dish, Bernsey.
Man, that's so hard. Not only threw me off with the chicken, I started thinking outside the box. I mean, the easy answer are cheesy potatoes / funeral potatoes. You know what I really like? I love a crock pot dish, like a meatball in a crock pot, or like I love the little smokies in the crock pot with the barbecue sauce, the grape jelly.
Time.
But I also love a 7-layer dip with the beans, avocado. Are you familiar with that, Gnarly? Is that just some Midwestern shit?
No, the bean. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They sell that out here too, like just like the Tupperware. It's like this big. It's just layers of shit.
Yeah,
olives,
but I mean,
or like on top too, like tomatoes, cheese.
But I'm talking about making it yourself. Like when I was a little kid, my mom made that shit all the time. I'd never heard avocados before, and I would not eat the guacamole part because it was weird. But you take a plate, and then you spread a layer of beans, and then you do the layer of the taco seasoning, sour cream layer, and then you got, what else? You got tomato, onion, black olives, which is very Midwestern to add on to Mexican food. And what? Onion, cheese. Yeah, and I just like, blew my mind. I never had. That was a big
sour cream.
That sour cream with the taco seasoning in it, like that just blew my mind. That something was that fucking delicious.
When we would go camping, my mom would do the ground beef with the taco seasoning, and just put that over Fritos with cheese.
Ooh, yes, Frito pie.
We call those Texas tacos.
Do you, Gnarly, do you ever go to fucking Home State down there on Hollywood?
Have not been there.
Oh,
That's sort of like Austin style breakfast taco, but they have all day tacos, but they also do the Frito pie. I think you'd be into it, dude.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
I don't
Oh
know if it
yeah,
still exists or not.
I hope so. It should. Like small businesses should pull out of this. Yeah, we got.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're like doing food now or not. I
Man,
haven't seen.
that bums me out. That Gnarly has never had home steaks. He'd dig it the most.
Yeah.
Like those breakfast tacos, man, with the shredded beef and the eggs. And the hot sauces are just dialed in. They do the homemade Texas flour tortillas. It's top notch. They got the queso. It's all Austin Tex-Mex.
McCarthy Redhead on Instagram asks, "Y'all eat yet?"
Johnny Nicks.
A classic Monday Night Beers reference. Maddie's been to some beers over the years, not anymore, but and we used to watch a show called Cooking Outdoors with Johnny Nicks, and his tagline was "Y'all eat yet?"
It was what was that? The Rural Farming Network or something?
Yeah, RFD TV.
Yeah, and this guy, God bless him, man, he would make scrambled eggs and put like a stick of butter into it for like 3-4 eggs. And he was always at a campground, and his wife, who rest in peace,
R.I.P.
And then he just cooked all this crazy Southern shit, and he was just sort of not ready for prime time, but he seemed like a nice enough guy, and he just made good food. And,
the show was basically a commercial to sell his cast iron cookware that he sold over a fire, and he would oh God, he was a lunatic. He was so good. Funny. And I have a shirt because Popman bought me a T-shirt off of his website.
It says "Y'all eat yet?"
Yeah.
How?
Fair enough.
So
that's up my alley. That's my fucking brand. Is shows like that. I've never heard of it.
I wish that it was on YouTube. It was like this show that they produced for RFD TV. When his wife died, it stopped because she was the one who was like filming it and editing it.
Wow.
So I've not been able to find. I'll search for it, but I have not been able to locate it. Maybe my buddy Carlos, who's like one of the biggest internet pirates of all time, he'll be able to grab it off of something.
Those tapes are probably just in a like banker boxes somewhere in a storage unit.
I mean, I follow him on Facebook. He's alive and well, although he's not real like high on life anymore since he broke that.
yeah.
Oh, get over it.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
give the guy some time.
It's been years. Apparently. Make that show again, man.
Burnsy, you may need to translate this. We've got one here. This is the last one I have on this deal. It's from VIP on Swole.
Uh-huh.
He says, Lord Isaac or Danny Diablo? I don't know what that means.
I don't know it. Hi, man. Google that shit.
Okay, let me see here.
Oh.
I like this.
What's happening?
Nothing. It's just you're still on camera, but we can see you typing.
But it was like lit up and your face was like
all these screens popped up in front of us.
Open the suitcase in Pulp Fiction.
What, did you see me Googling eBay for fucking pocket pussies? This says Dan Singer, known professionally as Danny Diablo, a.k.a. Lord Isaac, is an American hardcore punk and hip-hop recording artist. And he's 48, and I don't know who that is.
Does it say what bands he's been in?
Let's see.
I think Swole's calling us out as being posers.
My first concert was Bush when I was 18. Okay.
He's founding member of hardcore bands Crown of Thorns, Scarhead, and Ice Pick.
Oh, okay. Thankfully, I know Crown of Thorns, and I know what was the second one?
Ice Pick.
The other one.
Scarhead.
Scarhead, yeah. I knew of those bands. I was not into those bands, so I feel okay now.
Dude, we gotta send good vibes to Swole. We don't need him to shut down the USPS, man.
Dude, I just texted something today because fucking Jace was promoting like text whatever to try to fucking save the Postal Service, dude. I like mailing shit.
If the Postal Service goes down, I'm fucked.
I like mailing shit, man. I like going to our local post office. I go to that same you know the spot.
Hell yeah.
And that Atwater post office it's so easy and clean, and like after dealing with all kinds of other like shipping places, I used to hate the post office. Now I like it.
In and
Like
out.
it's cheap.
No.
Someone talks to me, they weigh the shit for me, they type it all in, boom. And I've mailed so much shit because of the podcast that like I don't use FedEx. I could never mail anything to anyone with that.
It's like
that
prisons,
cost.
man. They're trying to privatize that shit. Fuck that.
Well, this is the thing. The
Amazon
only
is gonna
reason
take it over.
the post office always made money until Bush made it so that they have to fund their pensions for 50 years into the future, which like no company on earth does. So that's why they lose money every year. It's not that. Yeah.
It was a 2006 bill, right?
Yeah, it's 6 or 7. It's like
You got to pay ahead for everything.
and even if it does lose money, not everything in the government, not every public service has to make a profit. Shut the fuck up. Let's have a post office.
Yeah. What are you, some fucking socialist?
Yes.
Fucking America has a post office. Come on.
But you know,
Gentlemen, I don't, is there any other topics that we've left on the floor, on the table?
What's our clock? What's our clock at, Vince?
We're coming up on an hour, but not quite there.
I will say tonic water is not that bad with vodka. By itself, it tastes like dog shit.
So you've come around, because I know initially you were a little concerned that it wasn't.
I drank it straight once, and it was the worst thing I've ever had in my life. And then mixed with the vodka, I'm like, okay, it's fine now.
Yeah, what's that chemical that's in tonic water?
Quinine. Quinine.
Well,
Yeah.
there's corn syrup and then fucking sodium benzoate,
It tastes like stomach bile.
citric acid, quinine.
Quinine.
Yeah, that's the
Quinine.
one.
Quinine.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I got 2 topics that we can round out the show with.
Let's do it.
One is, we can do this first or last, and you make the call. I want to talk about this Jose Canseco tweet
okay.
requesting Jennifer Lopez. I have something to show you for your eyes only. You will not regret it. Please contact Morgan. What's that all about?
Well, Morgan is his manager, who I have texted because once
Sup? You up?
no, Jose Canseco, and there's a point where he was talking about come to Vegas and you can take batting practice with me or whatever the fuck. So I texted his manager, and it's like like $500 an hour, and you can talk to Jose. And so,
But you had texted Morgan because he put out like a tweet that was like, "You can come hang out with me."
just text my manager Morgan. And
right. And so you're like, how much does it cost to hang out with fucking Jose and you know, talk dingers or whatever?
Yeah, and it took like a week, and she's like, sorry, Jose. Basically saying like Jose sometimes says some stuff or whatever, but then
out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, and then so I don't know.
You're telling me that I could go in a batting cage with Jose fucking Canseco for a full hour for $500?
Yeah, let me see if I can even. I bet I can find.
Well, who was the guy that was under house arrest? Was it Jose? Where it was like, you can come hang out with this guy while he's under house arrest, and you can have a barbecue, or you can talk about weightlifting, or you can fucking swim in the pool. Who was that?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, it felt that way when they were like, okay, you can come hang out with Jose, but it costs $500 an hour. His issue, I think, is that he believes that A-Rod, right, fucked J-Lo.
Isn't he married to J-Lo or dates J-Lo?
I think he is.
Yeah, they're like together.
But Pop Man, you know, what did he do? He thinks that he stole J-Lo or he did something.
Yeah. I think the story is he thinks A-Rod cheated on J-Lo with Jose's ex-wife. Or either his daughter or something. And then so he's mad about that. And,
Getting spicy.
yeah. But so I don't know.
But that tweet up until the point it says contact Morgan sounds like a dad boner tweet.
That's I should have prefaced. That's why it got brought to you. Sent it on our chat.
When he
Contact.
said, yeah,
I got something I got to talk to you about. Just DM me.
Yeah, like a random guy in Grand Blanc, Michigan, reaching out to like fucking Ted Nugent. Hey, you got to get at me. I got a #1 idea that's gonna make us a lot of cash.
Very important.
it's got to be so weird. Like Jose Canseco in like the late '80s was like the man. He was like millions of bucks. He was like dating Madonna and all this shit. You know, MVP, World Series, millions
Stud.
of bucks. And now he's just like on Twitter, like, come to my car wash and watch me. Whatever. and he's just like mad that A-Rod is dating his ex-girlfriend or something. It's gotta be.
I think he's got CTE from when that ball hit him in the head.
Oh yeah. He's still bragging. What's so funny? My favorite thing about
So
Jose,
funny.
he's literally he won the MVP in the fucking major leagues. The first, and he's still bragging about how far he can hit a softball. That's like something like losers from my hometown do. They brag about how far they can hit a softball. Like, you won an MVP in the majors. What are you fucking doing? Just say that.
That's what Glory Days is about. That whole song is about that guy.
Yeah.
But he also, like, he's had such a fucking traumatic fall, right? He's like been involved in celebrity boxing and all this other fucking reality bullshit, dude. It's like, Jose, have a little fucking class, dude.
Yeah.
I always feel bad. Like, I feel for people who can't let it go. Like, you know, he's probably got enough dough stashed away. He could just conservatively, just quietly go off and enjoy his life, but he doesn't know how. You know.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
think he bugs Mark McGuire?
Bash
He
Bros.
blows him up. He's like, "Yo, we're Bash Bros." And he's like, "Yeah, cool."
I bet he does. He's
He's like,
hey,
ignores his text.
no, like, hey, let's recreate that poster, like, for
Yeah.
charity. And he's just like, no.
like- Mark is taking out the trash, and then Jose's in the driveway, like, up top, Mark, Bash Brothers.
Tank top, board shorts.
He's like, oh, you're a hitting coach in the majors, though. You're too cool for me now. You're too big.
It's like, if I'm, and I use this as a reference to like, you know, political people who basically just want to be popular, right? You know, that's what politics is. It's being on Twitter and shit. I don't want any of this shit when I'm fucking like 70 years old. Like, I don't want to be pumping out content. Like, at a certain point, I just want to be a guy who just watches TV and, like, you know, makes a bologna sandwich for lunch and then takes a nap. You know,
I'm already that guy right now. I don't want to do content anymore.
like, does Jose Canseco need to make content, or did he have some real financial problems?
I'm sure he probably
but
does.
here's the thing: it may not be financial. Sometimes it's just mental.
Yeah.
Right?
You know?
Tony, that ball. Whoop.
Yeah.
Didn't he run through a fucking wall at one point too?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
He
right.
probably wants to be on like the MLB Network or Fox Sports, and he's like, hey, I hit like 470 home runs or some shit. Why can't I be on TV? And
I'm surprised he hasn't been tapped by like a bar stool or something like that at this point. Where it's
No, I think it's
Jose's
because he's
corner.
insane. I think it's because anytime someone reaches out to him, they're like, "Oh, wow, okay, actually, no, I don't think we can do this."
Yeah,
no matter how far you hit the softball, bud, we just got nothing for you. Sorry.
that's probably it. And just one more thing before we wrap up. Gnarly's got a kitty cat situation. Let's hear what's going on at your crib, man, with the cats.
I drank more, so I care less about it. But when I came home, this cat just like started crying all crazy, like by our door. It's like nice and clean. Its claws are all fucking done up and shit. And like tried to get in our house, and like it followed Marina around when she was doing laundry. Like we threw it on the next door wrap. Like, but it's not a local stray like that I'm used to in the area. And it's bumming me out, dude. Or it was. I'm kind of numb right now, but like before that, it was just like if I had like a lease that was able to let me have a pet, it'd be inside right now. Because like he was very just like super friendly. Yeah. No like ticks or bugs on his back. Like he's somebody's fucking cat, dude.
I mean, I feel like it's a situation where the the manicured house cat wandered into your neighborhood where there are 12 strays, and it was like, fuck fuck?
Oh, for sure. It's like I hear the strays fight sometimes because there's like a lady who like fucking takes care of all of them. She feeds them lunch and breakfast and dinner. She gets them all spayed and neutered. But he's like new as shit because either they're gray or they're black. And there's like a lot of them. But this dude, like, he's on his own right now. It sucks.
Man, I would love it. I would love to have a whole army of outdoor cats that I feed,
Ava,
take care of my property.
today we just gave some sardines to a cat walking around, but there's so many. You can't, I mean, you're eventually just going to have 20 cats outside your door.
Yes.
Our sardines, dude.
And, you know, there's no coyotes around here, so, you know, they're probably fine. I feel like outdoor cats have an okay life. They're just scrounging and running around, and they love that shit. I don't know.
Right.
So you're just giving away sardines now, dude? You ain't got no plans to make a sardine burrito or no shit like that?
My sardine burrito days are done, man.
To your question, Arlie, sardines are pretty good. It's kind of just like a fucking a salty, meaty little item put on a crack.
Because Hail Mary had a pizza that had sardines on it, and I almost got it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about it. And I was like, I don't know.
Well, there's two kinds, right?
I like fish.
There's the canned kind that you're probably familiar with that you see in a Looney Tunes cartoon, what have you, which are good. Like if you're
You eat the bones too, right? You eat everything?
Yeah.
That's a Midwestern delicacy, just some fucking little hot sauce maybe.
It's all in there.
And a saltine and a sardine, and like that's good eating. But most like nice restaurants, not most, some have good like bigger size sardines, and they grill it, skin on, and it is one of those things. A larger one, you're probably not going to eat the bones, but it's become a little more like mainstream in a finer dining situation. But yeah, we should like acquire something in our grocery deliveries or whatever where we try it on MND.
Yeah.
All right.
Sardines,
Down with it.
baby.
Let's do sardines. Let's try and do sardines next Monday.
Another fucking Monday in the books.
All right.
Beautiful
I
thing.
did it.
Eh.
Home and Del Taco lit it up, man.
You go to Del Taco?
No, I said I miss walking home after Monday night beers and hitting Del Taco and eating.
Oh, yeah. I miss everything about Monday night beers.
Hey, this ain't too shabby though. This is all right.
I just
I
miss being in different kinds of buildings. And
as a cliffhanger for next week, I'm gonna try to make contact with the Roost again, potentially go there and find out exactly what's going on with a mask on, and I'll report back 1 week from today.
I like this idea.
I got a bunch of new gloves. If you need them, holler at me, man.
Dude, I may.
All
All right.
gloves, baby.
I like it.
Stay strong.
All
There
right.
you go.
Good luck, boys. Have fun.